Welcome. I'm so happy to greet you on behalf of Bright Stars and all of the children and the families and the college students and the older adults that are partners with us in Palestine, that are being served by the Dar al-Kalama University College of Arts and Culture, and also being served by DR Consortium. This is an interesting time. Just this morning, the Zoom crashed, so I don't know if any of you heard about that, but we are so thankful that you're all here with us. We have 161 people from all around the country, from 26 different states, with us today. So we're so thrilled that you're here with us. We've got a lot of interesting information to go over. We've got great panelists, and we have got some amazing stories of hope during double lockdown. So today is the third webinar in our summer double lockdown series. The first one was in June, and that was the annexation and the creative response. July was the pandemic and creative response, and today is Gaza and creative response. We are here in the United States, we're in a single lockdown with COVID. I'm sure all of you have been experiencing different fears and different health issues, or maybe you know somebody that's experienced something with COVID. I mentioned last time that my father just recovered from COVID. He's 84 years old and he lives in a nursing home. My sister Renee, who's a nurse who works in a nursing home, just recovered from COVID. So it's hit my family particularly hard. But here we are in the United States. We've got it. You know, it's definitely a challenge with our kids going to school or not going to school, doing everything virtually, having to learn how to do Zoom. So we've got a single lockdown. But as we're gathering together today, we really want to talk about our friends in Palestine and how they're experiencing a double lockdown, not only with the pandemic, but with the occupation and now the looming annexation. And of course, everything that's going on in Gaza. So this is really timely. I'd like to share with you about the vision of Bright Stars of Bethlehem. I had the incredible honor to speak to one of the founders of Bright Star just a couple weeks ago. His name is Greg Smith, and he is on this call today. So hi, Greg. Want to thank you for everything you've done to get this vision started, what God started so many years ago, about 16 years ago. The vision of Bright Stars is that our friends in Palestine would have life and have it abundantly, that they would flourish. And our mission is that to empower the next generation of creative leaders in Palestine. And we, again, do this through our partnerships with these incredible ministries that Reverend Dr. Mitri Raheb has started. Again, the University College and then DR Consortium, which brings hope and unlocks hope for hundreds and thousands of people throughout the last 16 years or more with what Mitri's been doing in Palestine. So I'm so excited to, again, to introduce you to Mitri, and I'll do that in one moment. But I also like to thank all of our donors and people who have been supporting Bright Stars, because in supporting Bright Stars, you really are supporting hope for the next generation of creative leaders in Palestine. And so I'd like to put up the graphic, which is our campaign that we are moving into. Again, our two main focuses with Bright Stars of Bethlehem are to increase awareness about what's going on in Palestine, about the human rights issues that are being violated, about the suffering that's going on, but also about the incredible, we exist to actually do something about that. And that is to raise money for these incredible, hopeful programs that are going on. So our new campaign is called Be the Key, and we talk about unlocking hope for the next generation of creative leaders in Palestine. And we have, so if you would, a little bit later in the program, we're going to be talking about opportunities to give, and we've got our link on the side if you'd like to give, if you'd like to donate. But for now, let's just move into the programming. I know you're all excited to hear from our panelists. I am honored to introduce Reverend Dr. Mitri Raheb, who is actually, we talk about Bright Stars of Bethlehem. He is an incredible bright star shining brightly in Bethlehem. He's a world changer. He has written, I had to ask him the other day, I said, is it 22 books now? And he And he laughed and said, now it's 23. He's the next one I think is coming out on Wednesday. So he's the author of 23 books. He is an incredible scholar. He is a world changer. He is somebody who has gotten countless awards for his humanitarian efforts. And he is a co-founder of Bright Stars of Bethlehem. Welcome, Mitri.
Yeah, thank you, Chris. And it's a pleasure to be with all of you. I saw the list of names and I know we have so many great friends joining us today to hear more about Gaza and our new work there. Before talking about Gaza, I would like to give you an update about what's happening here in Bethlehem at the college. You know, as you know, we are experiencing these days a second wave of COVID-19. We thought a month ago that maybe we have that under control, but now actually it came back much more forcefully. Also we experienced that again in the Bethlehem region. So there was a surge of infections and COVID-19 cases here in our region. And actually this pandemic has brought lots of challenges to us all. I mean, first of all, it brought challenges to the government. So the government is paying only half a salary to their employees, which again affects registration, etc. But also because of the pandemic, we hear of many families who don't want to send their kids to college this year, maybe. So they are like taking a year off. But also what we hear is that, and we notice that in the registration, is that most of the students who registered this year are from the larger Bethlehem region and governorate. Usually we have the highest number of registration from Hebron, not this year, because Hebron has experienced a very tough second wave of corona, and many of the families there are not sure if they would let their kids take public transportation to come from Hebron to Bethlehem. So basically, the second wave has affected really very much the registration, and we see not only at our college, but at most of the universities in the West Bank, the numbers of registrations are going down. However, we noticed this year that we are getting some of the top students. You know, previously, many students with top grades would not go to study art. But this year we saw that basically we have so many students with straight A's. I would say over 60% of the new registrations. That's a very good sign that people are trusting our university, and that stigma of art actually is not anymore there in the same way it used to be. These days, we are finalizing the last 2 weeks of the summer course. We had to pause a bit because the infections were so high. Now we are back, and you can see now on the screen our students during now the summer course, you know, with their masks, with gloves, taking the different programs in sculpture, in painting, in culinary art, in jewelry. So, you know, it's great for me to see life coming back to the campus after being Friday, not this one, Friday next week will be the last day for the summer course. because not all students were able to participate in the summer course and summer semester, not all the students who were to graduate will graduate this year. However, we have 67 graduates in the bachelor program who are graduating now. We might have a small ceremony for them in 10 days from now. This will be exciting, but you know how to do a ceremony like that at times of pandemic. So we'll do it outside in the new plaza that we are just finishing. So you will get some pictures once that is done. The new semester will start then on September 7th with the new students and the old students, and it will be mainly a hybrid system. So all the theoretical courses will take place online, while all the practical courses where they need on hand, they need equipment, etc., that will take place on campus, but in small groups, and we will not have all the students every day together, but we will divide them into small groups, and one group will come Monday, another one will come Tuesday, etc. Except for the new students, the freshmen, they will have all courses on campus, because I mean, they need to experience the life of a campus. They need to experience being together. They need to communicate with their teachers face to face. They need to be with all others. I mean, that's a very important component of college life. And so we will do that for the freshmen. Looking at the registrations this year, it's interesting, you know, every year we have other, like what is the top and the most attractive program. Every year it changes. So this year, there are two top programs that are like, you know, most attractive for students. So we have the highest number of registration. One is interior design, which is a combination of architecture and art. And the other one is graphic design. So design is big this year, and we are glad about that. And actually, we started also this year a brand new program in fashion and product design. The numbers are still small because people are yet not very acquainted with this program, but hopefully next year this will be hopefully another attractive program. In addition to two new programs in management that we got accredited just a month ago. One is in arts management, which will really educate and enable our students and graduates to lead cultural centers, museums, archaeological sites, galleries, art galleries, you know, all these kinds of things, but also events management, to manage like a conference, or to manage like a big event. So that's a new program. And the other one is sports management, which is brand new. So we are now branching into a new era, which is the sport era, because that's also a very important era in Palestine. But with management, we are adding another emphasis beside performance and beside teaching. We are adding the management component, which is very important. Last but not least, during lockdown, we were able to finish 3 construction projects. A brand new plaza, which we are finishing, and this is in memory of our late board member from Bright Stars, Norm Rubesh, a professional gallery, thanks to the Sam Maza Foundation, and atelier for the students that they can work on their project. Stay tuned, we will share more pictures of these 3 new projects. You will be able to visit a virtual gallery once we have the paintings there, and you will see the beautiful plaza. It will be done before September 7th. So we are very excited. I mean, you know, but this is what we do. We don't give up to hopelessness, because we believe that our people need life, and they need life in abundance. And this is part of, you know, strengthening the resilience of our people. Resilience at this moment is really maybe the most important thing we can do, and also use art as a tool for creative resistance and for social transformation. So please think of us, pray for us, visit Bright Stars website, sign up for Constellation to hear the updates, and we need your support, especially at times like this. Having said that, let me introduce you to a dear colleague of mine, Ghada Araj, who really joined us many years ago. And she is managing the Gaza project, because she is one of very few people who had a permit to visit Gaza. So she and I had several trips to Gaza in the last month. Unfortunately, right now we are not, neither she nor I are allowed to go to Gaza. So we do everything remotely, but we have 2 staff there who are working day and night to make this program possible. Ghada, welcome. Good to have you on this webinar.
I'm glad to be here. I'm honored to be representing the Gaza program here, and I hope I can cover everything.
And Gaza, I know you were born here in the neighborhood of Bethlehem, right?
Actually, I was born in Dubai, but we moved back into Bethlehem immediately. So I never lived in Dubai. I was born there, but I grew up in Bethlehem. Yes.
So Ghada is a Bethlehemite, and Ghada actually did her studies in the United States. She has double masters. I think you studied in Arizona, right?
Yes, I did my master's degree. I was a Fulbright scholar to the US, and I did a dual master's degree in public health and nutritional sciences. But I also used my time there to supplement my education with project management courses and nonprofit management courses, in addition to international development. And I later on also specialized in monitoring and evaluation of development projects as well.
By the way, to our friends who are watching us, Ghada is one of really the most capable people that I met. I mean, once you entrust her with a project, you know it's going to be on track. You don't need to worry about it. So thank you, Ghada, for that. And maybe just a question on the side. What is one thing you remember when you think of your time in the States? Something you loved, something you think of all the time, or?
Actually, it was always as an experience. It was a very special experience for me because, 20 years ago, for a Palestinian woman to go and study abroad was not an easy thought. Like the families here are very conservative, and to send your daughter to actually study in the States is something that that was really bold. So for me, it was the first time I experienced being on my own and having the freedom and to be myself and away from the family. Actually, I do remember that when I went to the States for the first time, I really wanted to get out of this country. But by the end of my 2-3 years in the States, I decided I wanted to come back. But if I were to think of one very special moment that I had in the US, and especially in Tucson, it was on my first day in Tucson. And I arrived at night, and the weather was really beautiful. It was August, but arriving at night, it was really cool and nice. And the next day, I was going to search for an apartment, and I remember I was staying at a hotel, and I decided to go out and walk and and go check for an apartment. And I remember right when I approached the door of the hotel, which was a sliding door, it opened like this, and the heat wave hit me in the face. And I remember, oh my God, I am in the wrong place. I totally don't like this. And I spent the first year in Arizona actually whining about the weather.
Ghada, I would love to go through your slides on your, if we can do that. Tiffany, why don't we start with the first one? And we'd like to hear about your program in Gaza.
Okay, so basically I thought, I don't know how familiar everybody is with Gaza, so I thought it would be a good idea to start with a little bit of history and geography. And if you can put up the slide, yes, the map. The Gaza Strip is basically that strip of land by the Mediterranean in the southwestern side of historical Palestine. And it consists basically of 5 governorates, the northern governorates, which are the 2 cities, Bethlehem and Jabalia, Gaza City, and the central governorate, which is called also Deir el-Balah, and 2 southern governorates, which are Khan Yunis and Khuza'a, and Rafah, sorry. Basically, this strip, the Gaza Strip, has unfortunately a bad history. Because since 2006, when we had as Palestinians the elections, Hamas won the elections, and that was sort of the beginning of the end for the Gaza Strip somehow, because Fatah, which is the leading party which was in charge of the Palestinian Authority and is still in charge of the Palestinian Authority, did not like Hamas winning the elections. So that led up to a lot of hostilities between Hamas and Fatah in 2006 and 2007, which led to Hamas actually taking over Gaza Strip in June 2007. And ever since that time, Israel has imposed a blockade on the Gaza Strip from the northern, eastern, and western seaside. And Egypt, in support of the Palestinian Authority, also imposed a blockade of the crossing in Rafah in the southern area. So Gaza has turned into an open-air prison, basically, in 2007. And to make that even worse, between that time and until 2014, Gaza underwent three wars, basically. One in December 2008, one in November 2012, and one in July 2014. And that has really taken a toll at the Gaza Strip in so many ways. And basically, there's a humanitarian crisis that is in Gaza right now. as a result of these three consecutive wars within 8 years. Also compounded by the events of the Great March of Return in 2018, which also yielded a lot of casualties among young Gazans in particular. The health system is really suffering in Gaza. The supplies are always depleted. There's poverty, there's unemployment. The poverty rate as of last year was 53%, and it's expected to rise to actually 64% due to COVID-19 as well, with a lot of people losing their jobs as a result of the pandemic. Unemployment rate was at 45% last year, but is also expected to rise as well. And if we look at unemployment, it's about 70% among Gazan youth, and also 70% among women compared to men. So it's higher among women and among youngsters in Gaza. There's an ongoing electricity problem as well in Gaza as a result of the blockade. With very little fuel coming into Gaza, there's only one power generating plant in Gaza, and with very little fuel coming in, it's not able to generate energy that would be enough to operate all the households and facilities in Gaza. So basically, on a very good day, on an optimal day, they would get electricity for about 8 hours a day only, for every 24 hours. Nowadays, because of the tension between Hamas and Israel, Israel has closed the entry points into Gaza, and very little fuel is going in, if any at all. I think nothing is going in at this moment, and what's remaining, they're using it to just provide as little energy as electricity as possible. So nowadays, electricity time ranges between 2 and 4 hours every 24 hours. So it's really bad. What we take for granted elsewhere in the world is not for granted at all in Gaza. And the other day when we were having a call, basically we lost electricity, they lost internet access. It's not something that is easy. So let's just hope that this doesn't happen today, and they're supposedly on a generator, so hopefully they will not lose electricity now. So basically, there's a lot of problems in this little strip of land in Palestine, which is only, as you can see, 365 kilometers squared, but it has 2 million people living in it, which means that there are 5,200 individuals living per kilometer squared, which is one of the highest population densities in the whole world. These people have suffered a lot since 2007 until today, not only with poverty and unemployment, but with very little access to health services, with very minimal resources available to them. Even water, even piped clean water is something that is not for granted in Gaza. So basically, it is a difficult situation, but then again, it builds a lot of resilience. This is not the best way to build resilience, but unfortunately, this is the situation in Gaza. And as they say, we have a saying in Arabic, which basically translates into hope is born in the womb of suffering. And the Gazans, despite the whole situation, have built a lot of resilience. Many have escaped Gaza in one way or another, and I'm sure that a lot of young people would wish to leave Gaza because they don't see that there's opportunity for them. So whatever hope that we can build for the Gazans, I think it would be something that is special and that would at least limit the number of people who put themselves in danger sometimes to leave the Gaza Strip legally or illegally, and sometimes subject themselves to a lot of hardship just to get out of this reality that they grew up and found themselves living in. Yet at the same time, having dealt with a lot of Gazans during the past 4 years, I do see that there are seeds of change within Gaza, and people being caught up in the conflict, but they are fed up with it. They are trying to get away from the politics of all of this, and when I talk to people, they just tell me that they just want to live life like we do elsewhere in the world. I see that a lot of youth energy is being directed towards entrepreneurship, and because they are not waiting for anything that is related to official employment. They don't want to be victims anymore. They are creating their opportunities themselves. And having access to the internet, whatever possible and wherever possible for them, is opening up some opportunities that they didn't have in the past.
Ghada, since time is running, sorry, I was kicked out for some reason. So I guess people ask themselves, so why art in Gaza? I mean, if the situation, and everyone knows it's so difficult, so why? And what change can art bring to Gaza?
So basically why art in Gaza is similar to why art elsewhere in the world. It's not like something different, but in the particular context of Gaza, art can do a lot. We know that art influences society by changing opinions, instilling values, and expressing experiences across space and time. And it's a means of communication, basically, and self-expression. And it's a way for these young people to let go of some of their emotions and their experiences through paintings, through photography, through music, and through sculptures and other forms of art. And also it's a means of that they can use to actually impose some social change and address some of the social issues that they are facing and living in Gaza, not social only, economic and political. It's a means for expressing that, and also for driving change in the future. And also we want to be realistic. An artist is not somebody who just expresses themselves through art. They are human beings, and they need to live and they need a source of living. So art is also a means of generating income for themselves and creating a source of living and livelihood for their families as well.
Yeah, we started in Gaza last July, so basically a year ago. Can you maybe tell us briefly some of the programs we did there?
Okay, so I think what we started with was building the community around the college, and how we did that is basically by offering a few training workshops in which we got to know some of the students who were interested in art. Some of them who had already some experience with art in the past, and some of them were talented and wanted to experiment and learn new things in art. So we started with the training workshops. We had 3 training workshops between December and March, one in principles of artistic design, and a course in photography, and a workshop in video art. That was basically the starting point, and the culmination point of these 3 workshops. These are some of the pictures of the students and of the that were taking the workshops, and the culmination of these workshops was an exhibition that we had early March. between March 3rd and March 5th. And I remember those days because I'm going to tell you now why I remember those dates clearly. So basically, this is the picture of the exhibition. It was called Eye on Gaza. And in this exhibition, we had about 60 photos from the photography class and 33 artworks from the Principles of Artistic Design class. We also participated in the Gaza International Festival on Video Art. And there were 12 video art productions shared during that festival. We also had an award, a photography award, not only for Gaza. This is our annual Karima Aboud Photography Award for all Palestinian photographers. This year we had very good participation in this award. We had about 104 photographs submitted, and it's very important to say that 64% of all participations came from Gaza. And because of that, we had 2 award ceremonies, one in Bethlehem and one particularly in Gaza that we had in January. And these are some of the photos that were submitted that actually won the award. The above 3 are for the 3 winners from Jerusalem. And the lower 3, and I'm sure you can tell the difference because they reflect the reality in Gaza, were by Gazan photographers.
Ghada, we are running out of time. I think we would love to hear more about all the programs. Maybe just one sentence, what's next? What's exciting now in Gaza with the program there, with the venue? Maybe the last slide, if we can have it.
Okay, so basically what's going to be next in Gaza, we're going, I just want to say that we did also a civic engagement training for some of the artists so that they can channel their artistic talents into social initiatives. We also started the Young Artists Network in Gaza, and this was one of the initiatives that we did. We painted the school walls to get ready for the new school year. We have what's coming up next. We have found a place finally. It's an old house, but that will need a lot of renovation work. But it's basically the place that's going to be our home in Gaza. We rented that place starting August, and we began the renovation with doing some plumbing and electricity preparation work for the house, because it's a very old house. And hopefully by September, we're gonna have it ready to have our first meeting and our first round of courses for the fall.
Great, Ghada. I think we have also online one of our students there that we would like to hear from.
Yes, there's one student that we would like to hear from Gaza. I would like to introduce Ismail Matar. Ismail, are you on?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Welcome. Thank you, Ghada.
Hi.
Thank you for sharing those wonderful stories about the amazing program going on in Gaza. Welcome, Ismail. I'm excited to hear your story, as I'm sure everybody else online is as well. So why don't we just start off with asking you about your family? Can you share with us about your family?
First of all, I am happy to meet you today. As you know, I was born in 1998. I live in Gaza with my parents. My father name is Ibrahim. He is a retired civil servant. And my mother, Maha, she is a housewife. My little brother, Mohammed, he is 9 and he have a talent for the art. And my little sister, Farah, she is 14. My old brother Ahmed, he lives in Sweden. He is 24. He left Gaza because he didn't find anyone to support him. He is a parkour player. And my old sister Nada, she is 27 years. And she is an entrepreneurship trainer.
Thank you. That's a wonderful picture of your family. Thank you for sharing that. Ismail, when did you start painting? Tell us about when you first started painting and found the love for painting.
I started painting when I was very young, but in high school I realized I have a talent and decided I wanted to be an artist and developing my artwork.
Thank you. I understand you lived through the war in 2014, which was very traumatic and painful. How did art help you during the war on Gaza in 2014? We're showing now pencil drawings that you created after that time. Tell us about how art helped you during that time.
Art was the only way to express our selves and art, to tell our story and to deal with the trauma. After the war, I participated in my first exhibition with the other artists. It was called The Pain of July because the war was in July 2014. I was only 16 in that time.
Thank you for sharing. Those are beautiful works that you did there. And you said your exhibit was called The Pain of July. The Pain of July. That's very poignant. Can you tell us about the scholarship that you received to Dar al-Kalama and what happened when you received that scholarship? I know you were very tenacious trying to make it work, but it didn't work. Can you share that?
After I finished high school, I got a scholarship at Dar al-Kalama University in Bethlehem. I tried to go out of Gaza and get permits, but as you know, Gaza is closed. It's like a big prison.
Prison, yeah.
Open prison. You can't get out without permits. I tried to get a permits and I was not able to get a permits not from Israel or through Egypt. It was a very sad experience for me. I lost another chance because of that thing. But I was happy when Dar al-Kalama came to Gaza and I joined the introductory meeting in December with Dr. Mitri, and when he get to know us and listen our needs as young artists.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm so glad that they brought the program to Gaza. I know you are too. How would, let's see, if we were to be able to build this training center that Ghada was talking about in Gaza, how would that help you get the art education that you want, that you need?
I think with the specialized courses in art, we would be able to improve ourselves and our knowledge, especially with having very good teachers. I took the principles of artistic design course with Faiz Sirsawi between December and March, and it was a very important course in shaping my artistic inclination, because I was doing a random thing in art, and I was able to produce a painting for the exhibition we had in the end of the course.
Tiffany, can we show that the painting, the last slide? I'd like you to talk about the painting, Ismail.
The painting,
Tell it, yes.
Painting talk about the people have a suffer from the inside, but despite the suffering, show and do the best they can.
It's very beautiful. And I understand, did you sell that painting there at the exhibition?
Yes, this is the first painting I sell, other than the murals I used to do locally. I sold this paint to an American doctor. She was here in Gaza with a medical mission in March.
Wonderful.
It's really was a good and great experience. That's give me power to do more.
Yes, it gives you hope, and that's very exciting. And I think as the rest of the audience right now, I wish for you hope. I wish for you success. And I want to add, my last question for you is, what is your dream? What is your dream? What do you want to do with the rest of your life?
My first dream to be a known artist around the world, and create a center for support the artists, especially the young artists, because there's no one support the artist in Gaza.
Here are more of your paintings that we're showing right now. They're beautiful, Ismail. They're beautiful.
Painting on the wall.
Yes, you want to open a center for other young artists. That's wonderful, and I hope and pray that you do that. And I hope that through Dar al Kalama that you have hope that's unlocked right now. Look at that! Wow, you're an incredible artist with very different mediums as well. Thank you for sharing with us today.
Fine, thanks.
So I guess now we come to the Q&A part, and we have many excellent questions. I would like to start with the first one, which talks about the impact of the bombing on Gaza. Maybe you heard in the news in the last week, Israel was bombing Gaza almost on daily basis. And this is unfortunately nothing new. I'm not sure if Ghada or Ismail would like to address this question.
So yes, there has been a lot of tension during the past few weeks with Hamas and Israel, and it is affecting our programming directly and indirectly, but fortunately we're able to continue. But we can see that the effects of this escalating tension during the past 2 weeks on the electricity, for example, we're having only 2 to 4 hours of electricity. And also there's almost bombing every night, but the programs are ongoing.
I'm not sure, Ismail, would you like maybe to say something? You can say it in Arabic and we will try to translate. إسماعيل ممكن تحكي لنا شوي عن القصف اللي بصير على غزة، كيف عماله هذا بأثر على الشباب، عليك وعلى طلابنا التانيين وهيك.
صراحة إحنا في غزة يمكن تعودنا إنه صار الضرب إشي أساسي في حياتنا. يمكن ما نستغرب إذا سمعنا صوت قصف نحسه إشي روتيني، لكن بصراحة هو بسبب قلق، لأنه الشخص إذا أنا كنت حابب بفكر في إشي لأنجزه في مستقبل، بحس إنه هذا الضرب هيوقف حياتي. لو صار إشي، لو تصاعدت الأمور، لو زادت الأمور عن حدها، أو يعني تطورت لحرب أو إشي، لأنه بصراحة الحرب بترجعنا كتير لورا وبتخلينا نبلش من الصفر من جديد. فإن أنا كنت متقدم أي خطوة في حياتي، الحرب بترجعني كتير، لكن بحاول إنه أنا كشخص بحاول إنه أتخطى هذا الإشي وما أخليها إشي أساسي في حياتي إنه هو ممكن يأخرني. بالعكس بستفيد من الحرب وبستغلها كإشي إنه أنا أحكي للناس عن حياتنا في غزة، أرسم المشاهد اللي بتصير في الحرب وأورجيها للعالم.
إسماعيل شوي لأنه بدي أترجم. So what Ismail is saying is, you know, that unfortunately people in Gaza, you know, got used to the bombing and shelling. It became like part of their daily suffering, and it creates lots of anxiety among the people, among the students, and the fear of losing one's life just like that, and ending, you know, their dreams. But nevertheless, they don't give up, but they continue to cling to life and to believe in life in spite of everything. سؤال تاني إسماعيل بيسألوا إنه في غزة فيش كتير حالات كورونا. ممكن تحكي لنا عن الموضوع هذا؟ The second question was about the COVID-19 in Gaza, that there aren't many cases there, many infections.
هذا بصراحة هو أكبر دليل إنه إحنا في غزة مغلقين وما بنقدر نطلع ولا ننزل، وهذا الإشي ساعد في إنه الحالات ما تنتقلش لغزة بسهولة، لأنه فعلياً إحنا مغلقين وبصعوبة الواحد بيقدر يتواصل مع العالم الخارجي. فكان هذا الإشي مسيطر عليه، وخصوصاً إنه إحنا ما عندنا غير مخرجين اللي هو معبر رفح ومعبر إيرز، فإحنا بنسيطر على هذا الإشي بسهولة.
So Ismail is saying, you know, the fact that there are not so many cases of COVID-19 in Gaza is the best proof that Gaza is a big prison, because nobody comes in, nobody goes out. There are two basically gates for that prison, and right now actually Israel is not allowing anything but some medical supplies and some food supplies to enter Gaza, nothing else. Tamam Ismail. Another question was about how much would this is maybe for Ghada, how much would the facility that we are renting right now cost if we were to buy it? Do you have an idea? Maybe I can say that we are renting it right now for $6,500 a year. But Ghada, can you say something on that?
I'm not sure how much it will cost to buy it, but I know that we can do a lot while renting it anyways. But it does need a lot of renovation, and it will require a lot of internal resources. We're thinking of establishing a library, a computer lab for the students to use for their courses. I mean, we can do a lot of things, and if we can buy a facility at one point, why not? But it will cost a lot. Property is really very expensive in Gaza, despite the situation, but property is really expensive in Gaza.
Ghada, another question, is filmmaking one of the programs you are offering there?
It's in our next round of courses, hopefully.
Okay, we did one video, right? Video art.
We did video art between in January and March, and we plan to do another round starting September, which may involve filmmaking and specifically documentary filmmaking.
Great. We have some more questions. People are, you know, saying that they really liked Ismail's art. And how can we buy the art is one question. Ghada, maybe this is the last question you would like to address.
Yeah, so we're compiling a list of artwork from the students from Gaza that we can later on auction perhaps. But yes, all the artwork that is produced by the students and the young artists affiliated with Dar al-Kalima in Gaza will be for sale if they wish to sell it, yes.
And I guess the last workshop we did just maybe 2 weeks ago was on how to price a piece of art.
Yes, so yeah, 2 weeks ago we had a workshop with an art acquirer from Bethlehem, George Lama, and he is a specialist in buying artwork and pricing artwork, and it was a very important workshop that we did for the young artists so that they can price their artwork in a reasonable way.
Great. So I guess for our friends, stay tuned. You will hear more about it. In fact, we hope maybe in 2 months' time to have on the Cave website these paintings that you can see and you can buy, and we hope to get them out of Gaza and ship them to you, because even getting art out of Gaza is a challenge, but so far we have managed somehow. Ghada, thank you, and Ismail, thank you for all the great work you are doing it. And for our friends, please keep Gaza in your thoughts and in your prayers. You know, our people there need you. Chris?
Thank you, Mitri. Thank you, Ghada. I don't know about the rest of you in the audience, but I'm just incredibly moved and struck by the resilience of our Palestinian friends and the ways that that hope springs out of this trauma. It's just really, really hopeful to me as somebody who's working for Bright Stars of Bethlehem. I can see the results of the incredible work that's being done here in the United States to raise awareness and to increase support for these very, very important programs. I think we can all see how important and world-changing these programs are. So I'd like to talk just a little bit about how, if you're interested in partnering with Bright Stars, how you can help. First of all, I want to say that we've got an incredible network of ambassadors around the country in about 5 or 6 different states. And these folks build or increase awareness by sharing about our webinars. They share about the needs, and they do a great job in terms of increasing awareness. Also, they do a great job in helping us to raise support. So we've got some opportunities for transformational opportunities for partnership, and I'd like to tell you about those. So at the beginning of the summer, I set a goal. I looked at how many monthly donors that we had, and at that time it was about 40. And I set a goal to increase the number of monthly donors to 80 by the end of, or by the time we do our virtual celebration in October, on October 24th. And I'm happy to tell you that we now have 51 monthly donors. So I thank each and every one of you. I think some of the folks that were on the last couple of calls possibly joined our team of monthly donors. So thank you so much. It makes a huge, huge difference in unlocking hope for the next generation. So if you would like to help in that way, please, there have been links on the side to give. We'd love to have you. Also, a one-time donation would be a total blessing as well. Again, want to thank our current donors who are our supporters, and ask you to please save the date for our virtual fundraiser. That's going to be a national fundraiser, the first time we've ever done that. Of course, it's going to be virtual, and we're going to have some exciting potential shout outs from some exciting speakers. But most importantly, we're going to tell more stories, like the one we heard today from Ismail, the one we heard last month from Carla, the one we heard the month before from Sandra. These incredible young people who are becoming the next generation of bright stars of Bethlehem, just like Mitri and Ghada and Fatin and Varsin, who we've talked to over the summer. So please do make a note to join us for that celebration. We have the save the date out, and we'll be getting a link for that. I'd like to thank our 3 world-changing panelists today. Thank you to Reverend Dr. Mitri Raheb. Thank you to Ghada. Thank you to Ismail. There's nothing more special than sharing stories across all these miles. It's important for us to know what your day-to-day life is, and so that we can come alongside of you. And we've learned a lot from you as well. The resilience is amazing. I'd like to end with a quote from Mitri, and that is, "Our aim is that our people who admire stars will dare to look up and dream to believe in goals to strive for, and develop a new sense of hope, community, beauty, and faith." That's what we hold on to. And we thank each and every one of you. We ask you to please consider joining us to be the key to unlock hope for the next generation of creative leaders in Palestine. Take care, everyone, and God bless.